Aye, we give you the facts. It's not what you think. Popeye Newsling, Young King, 1 yard, bless.
Good morning, Popeye. Grandma watch Popeyes every morning and every night.
Greetings viewers and subscribers. Are you in Miramar or surrounding areas in South Florida? If so, you are invited to the Emmanuel Supernatural House of Prayer tomorrow morning, Sunday, July 2, and every Sunday. Church starts at 11 o'clock in the morning. The address is 2101 South Palm Avenue, Suite 201 in Miramar. The zip code is 33027. You can also send prayer request to ehouse@gmail.com. You can also call or text 954-612-2332. That's 954-612-2332 for more information. Ensure that you check it out. Now, watch this video.
Mickey said, he said, Mickey is turn on back to current man. You want to watch Popeye. Popeye have sitting to tell me we want to hear good man. Mickey is turn on back.
See, talk about it. Well, you can't watch Popeye now. You give phone for watch Popeye now.
No, Popeye, you make them watch.
Yes.
You
want to watch Popeye.
When you ask him, he said,
you want to watch Popeye to make his turn on. Yes, he come back there. Alright, so you watch Popeye now. You give phone.
No, JPS, the man want to watch Popeye News. Don't style him thing. Now, we are learning that from about 5 o'clock this morning, residents use fallen trees, boulders and other debris to block the retreat to Sheffield Main Road in the parish of Westmoreland. They were protesting against the lack of water in the area. Truth be told, these residents of Retreat, Sheffield, Tankill and surrounding areas, they have been out of water for months, if not years now. Despite their cries, despite them calling the relevant authorities, no water. You see, a lot of us, we might not agree with persons blocking the road, but guess what? We cannot blame the people. We have to blame the powers that be, because for the most part, the only time that the powers that be respond to the people's cry is when them block the road. They would even come out and tell the people, okay, this or that is the situation. So when the road is blocked and people are inconvenienced, they blame the people. But you no need to take some of the blame too. You are the ones who are causing this to happen. And don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. I am not here endorsing the blocking of road, but I'm just talking the truth. And by the way, if you want to say I am endorsing it, that's a for business. The people them need water. Give it to them or tell them what is being done for them to get it. Alright? In today's journey, we are now at Dias in the parish of Hanover. We are heading towards Lucy. Continue to sit back, continue to relax, and continue to enjoy this journey with me. Now, in this first incident, we are learning that fire of unknown origin completely destroy a 3-apartment board and concrete house and all its contents. This one, it took place early this morning, Saturday, July 1, about 3:30. It took place at Fuller's Field in the Grangeville area of Westmoreland. We are learning that the owner of the house is living overseas, but it was occupied by a female bartender who is in her mid-20s. Our information is that neighbors saw fire coming from the front section of the house and they called the fire brigade. We are told that residents of the area, they tried to extinguish the blaze, but they were unsuccessful in doing so. A team from the Westmoreland Fire Department, they arrived on the scene, but they were only able to do cooling down operations because by this time, the house and all its contents were completely destroyed. We are told that damage is estimated at about 3 million Jamaican dollars. sad indeed. In this next incident, this one took place last week, Friday afternoon, about 4:30. It took place at the Sovereign Village Plaza at Brayton Parkway in Portmore. We are learning that 3 female students of the Cedar Grove Academy, their ages are 13 and 14 years old. School was over, so they went to the plaza where they bought some food. They sat down and were eating the food when they were approached by 2 hoodlums. One of them, he lifted up his shirt and showed the girls a gun in his waistband. He told the girls that if they make a sound, dirt for them. They then proceeded to rob the 3 girls of a black Samsung A32, a red Apple iPhone XR, and a white Apple iPhone 11. The hoodlums, they then made good their escape in the area. Just like that. This next incident, it took place Tuesday night, June 27, about some minutes after 8 o'clock. It took place at Tasha's Cashpot Shop along South Street in Old Harbour in the parish of St. Catherine. We are learning that 2 females, a supervisor and a cashier, they were on the job in the Cashpot Shop when 3 hoodlums entered the establishment. One of them was armed with a handgun and the other one, he was armed with a crowbar. The hoodlum, he used the crowbar to pry open the door to the cashier's quarter. They then robbed both females of cash amounting to about 150,000 Jamaican dollars, as also their cell phones and other personal items. The hoodlums, they then made good their escape in a white Toyota Caldina motor car with red license plate. Just like that. In this next incident, listen to this now. A lady, she's in her late 30s. She's a supervisor at a location where she works in Spanish Town, but she's living at Windsor Heights in the Central Village area of St. Catherine. About a week ago, the lady, she securely locked up her house and she went to spend some time with another female family member. When she returned home yesterday afternoon, Friday, June 30, about 3:30, the lady realized that someone had been occupying her house in her absence. She had given no one permission to stay at her house. As a result, the police were called in. When the police arrived on the scene, further checks were made and it was observed that the back metal door for the house was opened. The lock for the metal doors and the other doors for the house were all intact. It would appear as if someone used a duplicate key to enter the house. We are told that a total of 4 cell phones were seen being charged in the house. A pair of male slippers and other items of male clothing were also seen, as well as 2 ganja spliffs. They were all seen inside of the house. But I know that. We are also told that 2 5.56 cartridges were found among male clothing inside a pink and black knapsack bag. Now, 5.56 cartridges are used in M16 and AR-15 rifles. We are also learning that nothing was stolen from the house and there was no sign of breaking. Can you just imagine for a moment? You lock up your house and you went away. When you return, this is what greet you. And the worst thing is that you have no idea at all who the culprit is. This not safe at all. Boy, may I tell you. So, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Have you hit on the love button as yet? If you have not yet done so, remember to hit on it. Also, if you are over here watching our videos and you have not yet subscribed, hit on the subscribe button. As also, hit on the notification bell. Then click all so that whenever we drop a new video, you will be the first to be notified. In the final story for today, I carried a story on Saturday, June 17. It was about an incident that took place the previous morning, Friday, June 16. It was about 2 o'clock or so, but don't quote me on that time. A birthday party was being held and there was an altercation between that guy on your screen. His name is Ian Johnson, but he was popularly known as ChineyMan. He is 29 years old. As also, well, the altercation was between ChineyMan and that female on your screen. Her name is Viviene Brown. She is 20 years old. Now, I'm not going to repeat the full story because you can go back and watch that video. I had reported that a man named Chert Fletcher, he intervened and ChineyMan left the shop for a machete. I also reported that when he returned, ChineyMan, he was in the process of pulling out the machete when Chert used a machete to chop off the lower section of ChineyMan's left hand. ChineyMan, he ran out of the shop and Chert chased him and chopped him up. He died as a result. I subsequently spoke to someone who told me that the news I carried, and I saw it go. The person is adamant that ChineyMan did not leave the shop and go for any machete. Listen to a part of what the person had to say. Listen this.
So that's why the father ended up and taking up off him here because the girl did that chuck up him and stuff. And he did allow him out because the people same place, the same people never talk say he allow him out, he avoid him, but she still insists to chuck him up and he laugh out and say, I mean, I'm not put that in there, I'm not put one for my brain now. You know, that's the same man must have back in their head. And by the time the man must have back in their head, one next youth send the little girl, brother, the same one they chuck him up, they send him to him brother. Send him brother for a machete. And when he send him brother for a machete, then come back and the same one they send him for a machete, you give him the machete and he give the man to chop up him the machete.
So you're saying that based on what you hear, ChineyMan never have the machete?
He never have no machete.
Okay.
And by the time he come back, the first thing when he do, I chop off his hand. And when he chop off his hand, he run out. So when he run out, he run him down. When he run him down, there's no one there was there, and that a son done the deficit. Protect him because I'm here for him. I said, no, but nobody done the deficit. Should I stop him?
So you heard that. I'm still editing that conversation because I'm gonna let you hear the entire conversation I had with that person in full. It's still being edited. But what we are learning is that ChineyMan's cronies. Remember I told you that ChineyMan, he was a hoodlum? Well, ChineyMan's cronies, they have vowed to kill everyone who was connected or everyone and their friends who they blame for the death of ChineyMan. Remember I told you that the same day, the same Friday afternoon, ChineyMan cronies shot and killed Michael Robert Johns. He was 51 years old at the time, as also the same Viviene Brown who was at the party and was involved in a fuss with ChineyMan. Michael Robert Johns was not at the party that night, but Hoodlums still killed him. Well, what we are learning is that this latest incident is a continuation of the so-called reprisal. Now, I am sure that this female, she was not at the party. I am not sure if the man was there, but the information I'm getting is that the man, he's a friend of someone who was at the party and who Hoodlums are blaming was involved. This latest incident, it took place shortly after 12 midnight, early yesterday morning, Friday, June 30. It took place at Standpipe in the Burn Savannah area of Westmoreland. We are learning that a man, his name is Mark Taylor. He was born on April 14, 1969. He is 54 years old. Mark Taylor, he's a mason and he lived at Standpipe. Mark Taylor's sister also live in the same house, but they share separate rooms. She is 52 years old and she's a clinic attendant. She worked at various health clinics in the parish of Westmoreland. We are learning that both of them were at home fast asleep when Hoodlums struck. The Hoodlums, they kicked off the door to Mark's room, pulled him outside and executed him. They then kicked off Mark's sister's room door, went into the room and opened gunfire, hitting her in her abdomen. The police, they were called, and when they arrived on the scene, Mark, he was seen lying in the yard with gunshot wounds to his head, his back, and his neck. From all indication, Mark died on the spot. His sister, she was rushed to a nearby hospital where she was admitted in a very serious condition. We are told that when the police processed this crime scene, 7.40 and 4 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene. The mayhem continues. Blessed love, everybody.
Tell a friend for tell a friend for tell a friend about Papa in Newslink and PNL Blog TV. Like, subscribe and share. Quicksilver sing, if we just unite, what a country this will be. If we just unite, Jamaica live in unity. If we just unite, what a country this will be. If we just unite, Jamaica live in unity. Hey, crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. I coulda sunshine or rain. Jamaica, no problem, no pain. Rude boy them block out can't tame, but me want me country back. Give me country back. To the street and the lane. Everybody them start complain. Bloodshed, what a shame, but me want me country back. Give me country back. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Jamaica, Jamaica, the land of the sun. Jamaica become now the land of the gun. East and north and south when me turn. Country and town man a pay blood